Hey everybody, it's Janice with Creating Through Chaos, and we're going to start this project off with this garden fence that I got at Dollar Tree. And the first thing I'm going to do is take off all of these pieces that connect them and that stick them in the ground. So I'm just going to heat them up with a lighter, and then I used a box cutter to cut them off. So again, this is the piece that connects the fences together, and just heating it up and then cutting it off with my box cutter. And didn't heat that one enough, so you want to make sure that you get a good amount of heat on it so it gets nice and soft, and then you're able to cut it right off. So once I had all of those pieces off, I'm going to do it on all around the whole fence. I am going to start by painting this fence with a white paint, and I'm just going to paint the whole entire fence this white color. And I'm not going to do several coats. I don't mind if the black shows back through. I just want to give it a coat of white paint. And I'm getting in all the little nooks and crannies and around all the edges, because the edges are kind of beveled on some spots, so you really have to get the paint in there. So you just want to keep doing it until you get the whole thing done, and then let that dry. Once I finish painting, I'm just going to set that aside to dry. I'm going to take this sign that I got from Dollar Tree that I already filled in the holes on, and then I painted a little bit of brown over the holes. And I did that just to make that spackling blend in, and then I'm just going to stain the whole sign with my antique wax. I'm just going to do the edges and the back, and then again, like I said, I did right over those holes. And then once I have this all stained, I'm just going to let that dry and set it aside. While that was drying, I'm going to take this garden sign that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to take the hanger off the back of it. And as you can see, I was kind of messing around with some paint colors, and I didn't like any of them, so I decided to go a different route. So I'm going to take and paint this whole sign white. I did end up popping off the bird and the watering can that's on here. I just heated them up and popped them off and continued to paint the rest of underneath those white also. So now everything is white, and now I have my bird and my watering can. And I'm going to take this tissue paper that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cover my whole sign with a good thick coat of Mod Podge. So I'm just going to go through the whole thing, making sure that I get every little nook and cranny of this sign with the Mod Podge. And we're going to do the burn method on the tissue paper just to make this process easier. So you want to make sure that you have a good coat of Mod Podge and do it kind of fast so that the whole thing stays wet. You don't want it to dry. Once you have all the Mod Podge on there, you can lay your tissue paper down to wherever you want it on the sign. So I'm just going to lay it down right here. Smooth it all out with my fingers, making sure that there's no wrinkles. And then I'm going to cut off the excess paper around the sign. So I just took a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to quickly cut around the edge of the sign, getting as close as I can. And then I'm going to take a lighter, and I am going to burn off all of the excess tissue that is around the lettering. So first, I'm just making sure that this is all stuck really well. And then I'm going to start the burn process. So I'm just going to light it, and it will just kind of follow the lines of the letters. As you can see it burning off. It's a really cool process to watch. I really like how it looks. And then I'm just going to burn the inside of each letter, like the R and the D and the E. And just making sure I get all those little in-between pieces. And then once I have that all done, I'm just going to take a sandpaper of some sort. I ended up using a nail file, and just sand off all of the little burn pieces and make sure that it's all off. Next, I am going to paint my watering can with a green color, and I pulled the green color from the tissue paper, so I just kind of took my greens and matched them up to the tissue paper. And the same thing with the bird in the yellow. I matched it up to the yellow on the flowers. So I'm just going to paint that. And that's going to go back up on there, and I'm just going to put these pieces back on once they are painted. So as you can see, I'm painting the green color. Just give that a quick coat. And then I also found this little flower, and it was from Dollar Tree, I believe. And I'm going to paint this the same color yellow that I did the bird. I'm just going to go around and just do the petals with the yellow, and then I'm going to do the center with my brown wax, or the antique wax that I used to stain the sign. I'm kind of trying to make everything flow together. So I'm just going to do the center, just use a small brush and do that with the antique wax. Once I have everything all painted, I'm just going to start gluing it back on. So I'm going to glue the watering can back on where it was on the garden sign before I pulled it off. And I'm going to do the same thing with the bird. He sat on the A. And then I'm going to take that flower and I'm going to put some glue on that and put it in the center of the watering can. And as you can see, that flower sort of matches the flowers that are on the garden sign that were on the tissue paper. Now I am going to take the garden sign and glue it to the sign that we waxed. I'm going to put that right in the center. Press it all down and make sure that it's stuck really well. And then I'm going to take some twine and wrap it around each end of my sign. So I already started the first one. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on the back of that. Make sure that that's stuck well. And then cut off the excess. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. So I'm just going to start on the back. Put a little bit of hot glue, put my twine down, and then just start wrapping it around the front of the sign until I get as many wraps as I want, and then cut off the excess and then just glue that down in the back also. Once I have that all glued and it's all set, I'm going to take my fence back out. And I'm going to figure out whereabouts I want it on my fence. And then I am going to put some hot glue down in place. So I'm just going to start gluing right down all the center pieces. And then lay my sign down. My glue gun wasn't working properly, so now I'm going to lay that down right in the center and then just press it down and make sure it is where I wanted it to be. And this project is finished. I think this turned out so super cute. You could put a hanger on the back, or you could hang it with some twine, or you can just set it on a shelf. I think it looks good either way, and I absolutely love how this turned out. And look how pretty it is. I put a little hanger on the back and was able to hang it with just a tack. But I think it turned out so super cute, and it was really easy to make, and everything I used pretty much was from Dollar Tree except for the paint and the antique wax. I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope it inspires you to make one. Thank you for watching. And as always, don't forget to spread the chaos.